we start the video, I just want to let you know that I do have a Patreon, and it's the only way to keep this channel alive. If you want to be a member of my Patreon, it's in the link in the description down below. In order to react to videos like these, since this is a Patreon requested video, I have to let you guys know, you only be a member, you have to be a Hobidon hero or a Hobidon protector on my Patreon. This allows you to request for videos in the future and maybe some artwork. That's all I have to say. I hope you guys get the message, and like I said, if you want to request a video, you got to be a member on my Patreon. That's the only way to do so. And it's in this link in the description down below. Now, enough of that. Let's get on to the reaction, shall we? And I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, and let's get this started. What is up, YouTube? Frost the Hobidon here, and today I'm back with another reaction video for all of you. And today we're going to do a reaction video that was requested on Patreon. And it has been a while since I've done Nostalgia Critics reviews, and I always enjoy reading Nostalgia Critics reviews. It's what helped keep my channel. One of the reasons it kept my channel alive. And most people in other projects like to keep me away from Nostalgia Critic, and I always want to do a reaction to Nostalgia Critics videos, as I enjoy his content. Anywho, we're going to react to It's a Charlie Brown Christmas, Overrated. If you haven't checked out the original video, I believe it's linked in the description down below, so go check it out for yourself, and then come back and see my reaction to it. And with that being said, make sure to support the official release, like, comment, and subscribe for more future videos. And I just want to say happy holidays to every single one of y'all, or Merry Christmas by the time this video might be uploaded, who knows. I'm sorry if it kept me busy. A lot of stuff, it kept me away from everything. I want to do some personal projects that you guys would really like. That includes drawings and reactions, but let's just say other stuff keep me away from it all, or certain projects that keep me away. It gets tedious. But that being said, I'm trying my best I can. Please support my official release, support my Patreon if you can, to keep this channel alive, because I'm losing Patreons. Well, I'm gaining members, but Patreon, but actually tier lists to keep the channel alive. But hey, I'm not gonna force you. Whatever helps. Every little help, every bit of help is most appreciated. That being said, without further ado, let's get on to reaction, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Nostalgia Critic. Man, it's been a while since I saw this.
Nostalgia Critic guy.
Hey,
remember,
Nostalgia
so
Critic.
you don't have to. Some Christmas specials we watch because they're so well done that we love them.
That is
Others
true.
we watch because they're so odd and strange we can't help but love them. But every once in a while you get one that's kind of in between. One that you feel like a little effort went into, but somehow also a lot of effort went into. And the crowning champion of that is the Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh, really?
Every year we watch this simple, sweet, but let's face it, kinda cheap short. While it's beloved by millions all over the world, there are some people who scratch their heads and simply say, I don't get it. Not the obvious message or the fact that it's supposed to be simple in its approach, but they don't get why this is a holiday classic. Why is there merchandise selling like mad for it every Christmas? Why does everybody show it to their kids? Why do people act like it's the greatest holiday special ever made with no problems at all?
That classic dancing
I'll admit,
scene.
growing up, I liked Peanuts fine, but I got more into their other projects, like Snoopy Come Home or the Halloween special. Hell, even their second Christmas special I thought was actually a little bit more interesting than the first one. I just thought they had a lot more atmosphere and character to them. And while I didn't mind the original Christmas special, I'll admit I was kind of confused why everybody obsessed over it as well. What was the magic formula that seemed to win everybody over? And more importantly, as a lot of people are starting to ask, is it overrated? Well, first a quick rundown of the special. Charlie Brown is feeling very Charlie Browny as he wants to understand the true meaning of Christmas. He's told that by directing the Christmas pageant, he'll be forced to understand what the true meaning is all about, and under a time limit as well. As expected, he's not a very good director, unable to control his actors and also bringing in a very sickly-looking tree. But after Linus explains the very literal meaning of Christmas, quoting the Bible, everyone, including Charlie Brown, find the beauty in the tiny tree and make it up to look nice. And it just sort of ends there. Yeah, we never get to see the pageant. We have no idea if it goes well or not. It just sort of ends on them singing. That's it. To some, this would seem like lazy writing. Why have a pageant if you're never going to show it? Hell, even the
That is a
things
fair
going
point.
wrong with the pageant are not traditionally funny. They just
That is a fair point. Why have a pageant if you're not going to show it to people to see it? It's, I guess they're just doing this for fun.
keep dancing while he
Then again,
shouts
we don't usually
directions.
see
And the
adults
fact
in the
that the
Peanut
acting's
specials.
often stilted, the animation's obviously on a tight budget, and several segues with Snoopy, Schroeder, and others that tie in little to the plot. Hey, this is bad for the same reason a lot of our things we don't like are bad. So what are the elements that made people love it so much? Well, let's look at the technicals first. For example, the music. The music is wonderful, bringing a low-key but still very warm, jazzy feel to the entire thing. As soon as it opens and we hear a soft children's choir sing about the arrival of Christmas, it sets a very particular mood that signals from the very beginning it's not going to be like your typical happy, super energetic Christmas special. It's not bouncy or overly emotional, it's very mellow and calm. This music is such a staple at Christmas that even the Peanuts piano theme is played on the radio around this time. And that's in every Peanuts special, yet we still associate it with this one the most. We just sort of group it in with how good the rest of the music is. Next, let's talk about those detours, like Lucy forcing Schroeder to find the perfect song, or Charlie Brown just talking to himself about Christmas, or Snoopy just being Snoopy. A lot of these don't really further the plot that much, so why have it? Well, much like the Halloween special, it helps establish the environment of Christmas. We watch The Great Pumpkin every Halloween because they do all the things you're supposed to do on Halloween. Go trick-or-treating, bob for apples, make costumes. It's impossible not to think of the holiday. The Christmas special does this too, just in a different way. There's tons of specials that show Santa, opening gifts, hugging family, so this one decides not to go that route.
Part of me still wants to see their parents, because I know the Peanuts specials, they rarely show their parents. Are there any adults in this series? I'm not sure, but hey, that's just me. I always questioned that when I was a kid.
It instead focuses on the mixed feelings children can have this time of year. During a holiday about loving and caring for people, it's easy to get lost in an emotional whirlwind. With all the charities and stories about the less fortunate, people forget there is a very grim side to the idea of Christmas, and the greatest Christmas specials always point that out. This one captures an element of childhood that not a lot of other specials do: the confusion. And not simple stuff you see in like Family Circus, like, oh, what does this word mean? I mean like emotional confusion. Childhood isn't all fun and games, it's a strange and uncertain time. And because we teach kids that Christmas is more than just Santa and presents, it forces their minds to venture to deeper and more thought-provoking places. That's what Peanuts usually got so well, the uncertainty. Sometimes there are clear answers, sometimes there aren't. We don't know why things never go right for Charlie Brown, it's just kind of what life throws at him. Which steps into another element.
You know, at points like this, I kind of feel sorry for Charlie Brown, because stuff just throws. He gets the worst of luck, but he tries to root for the little guy. He just overcomes it.
Element of childhood that's rarely talked about in specials: cruelty. The other kids are relentless to him. They never let up. They are just so mean. And a lot of people would say, oh, those kids are just so mean to him. Why? But people forget they are judgmental. They are mocking. They do tease anything that's different. And since Charlie Brown is not your typical upbeat kid, of course they're gonna make fun of them. But they're not just typical bullies. They're kids like any other kids. If they were bullies, that would make them very black and white and not as interesting. But every single one is relatable and has some aspect of childhood that you remember and probably happened in your childhood. Now, Charlie Brown's not happy about this, but he keeps going, hoping one day he'll find answers to all the questions he doesn't know, but is open to the very real probability that he won't. So he has to take comfort in the little things, like the optimism of not getting his kite wrecked, or one day being able to kick the football, or a tiny tree that can be seen as beautiful. And it wasn't until I really thought about that tree and embracing its simplicity that I realized that's what I'm doing with this special. When the animators finished making this, they showed it to the studio and they hated it. They thought it wasn't gonna work at all and it was awful, but they already paid for it, so might as well run it.
They hated it?
But because it was so simple and so different from anything else that was on TV, people really enjoyed it. And afterwards, the studio just shrugged and said, what do we know? It's like the studio was all the kids that were making fun of the tree, and the tree itself was this special. Remember when I was talking about how you never see the pageant go on in this? Well, maybe the reason is because you're watching the pageant right now. Think about it. Literal kids, many of them amateurish, giving wooden performances against simple backgrounds with piano music talking about the meaning of Christmas.
Wow. I had paused in a real race. So in a way, this even though there's no pageant as we're actually watching the pageant, we're the audience, and they're the performers in some way. Okay, that's a little bit meta.
This is a Christmas pageant, just on TV. And the same way
Got
you
it.
admire the effort and simple love that goes into a pageant, the same way you admire this. Even when Linus states the very
love
obvious
that.
meaning of Christmas, he cues
I like
the lights,
Snoopy.
talking to an
This is
audience
funny.
that isn't there. Look at that. Nobody's in those seats, so where's the audience? Well, it's us.
We are.
We're the parents of this well-meaning special. And while the message is very clear about not letting marketing get in the way of the true meaning, people forget this came out in 1965, and this was not a common message yet, especially for younger kids. Even The Grinch, which came out a year later, focuses more on Christmas not being about materials. This directly says it's not about advertising, being much more specific than most
That's
specials
very
were
clever.
at
I
the
like
time.
the way they set
Even
that
the
up.
quoting of the Bible. This was seen as kind of a daring thing to do. You didn't see this in many Christmas specials, surprisingly. Again, especially for children.
I like
But
that.
that's exactly why they did it, because nobody else was. And I think that's what people relate the most to with this special. There's no bullshit about it. Every production has some manipulation in order to make you
You know
feel
what? That
something,
actually
but
makes
this
sense
one
when you put it
covers it
like
up
that.
less than the others. It's not trying to dazzle you with big songs, grand animation, or hilarious jokes. It's letting you appreciate how much you can get with so little. The same
Right.
way Charlie Brown found a lot of worth in a seemingly simple tree, the same way we find a lot of worth in a seemingly simple special. Its perfection is in its imperfections. And just like our main character's understanding of Christmas, it can't always be explained, it just kinda has to be felt. It would have been so easy if Linus quotes the Bible and Charlie Brown goes to a nativity scene and they all sing around that. But no, he's taking what Linus said and applies it. He's inspired by the story of beauty coming from such simple places, and he goes to prove that with the tree. In doing so, his simple act inspires the rest of the kids to see that same beauty and apply it themselves. We all see nutjobs quote their religion but never actually follow what they preach. Say they're supposed to be kind to others
Right.
but be really mean-spirited and judgmental instead. This is
There are some people who do act that way. Luckily, I met people who are not as mean-spirited and judgmental. I got a preacher who means who is meanful of those words. He is aware of the false thing, of the terrible things happen in the world, but he holds on to hope, and he wants to spread that hope. Our mission, a man of God, is to make sure the mission that God's message is still shared, and as long as we're here to remind others that God is still here. He still watches over us. He still loves us, and that he wants to remind us every day. We carry those lessons not just on a Sunday, but every day, to be righteous and do as much good towards not just for yourself, for others. And Christmas can do the same as well. Learn to give. It's better to give than it is to receive.
showing the importance of following through with your actions. Not just
Right.
saying it, but actually practicing it. Putting it to use in real life. Shit, this is really good! It's really good because
is.
it does everything in its own simple way. And it's a way we're not used to on Christmas specials, but we can still very easily relate to. Is it gonna win everybody over? No, but it's not supposed to. Some people will find great joy in its simplicity, others will want something more challenging and complex, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can find that in the Arthur Christmas or the Christmas carols or whatever. But to its credit, I think there's more to this special than meets the eye, just like there's more to Christmas than meets the eye. It isn't just about spreading the story of Christmas, it's about practicing it yourself. It's showing the importance of applying it as well as celebrating it. It's about putting that effort and love towards the things that are most important. Anyone can just quote scripture, but it takes a special talent to inspire and make others do better. And for a lot
You're
of
right.
people, that's what this special does. Yeah, it's basic,
Yeah, I
yeah,
see
it's
why this
stilted,
movie's
yeah,
pretty-
it's not
is-
that
is
funny.
pretty
But I
popular.
can't help but feel like it tapped into something more than the majority of other Christmas specials do. Something simple, but still speaks to the majority of people watching. In the end,
Smartphones stuck tricky issues. TenorShare provides the best solutions. We offer ReiBoot, 4Key, iCare Phone, 4D Dig, iAnyGo, 4Me Key, and more. professional, innovative. We got more than 150 million downloads.
Maybe it isn't such a bad little special after all.
It's still a classic. I still like it.
I'm a nostalgia critic guy, remember? So you don't have to.
Well, that was it's a Charlie Brown's Christmas. Is it overrated? I don't think so. I enjoyed it. It's still a classic, and I enjoyed this movie. My parents loved this series. Anywho, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reaction video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, have a great day. Take care, be safe, and more importantly, stay frosty and stay healthy out there. Catch you all later. Make sure to wash your hands, and Merry Christmas to every single one of you, and a Happy New Year.
Help me first! I'll save you! Woohoo! He's already gone!
Yeah, but that backflip though.